We don't have to do this. You know that, right?
After all we've been through. Everything that I've done. It can't be for nothing.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the first two artifacts. They're kind of automatically going to be given to you. This is the quarantine zone. This is the chapter that we're in, and obviously we're inside the underground tunnels with Tess, and we just picked up our gun, our backpack, and our mask. And if you hit start and go into bonuses, you'll see that before we had 0 artifacts, and now we suddenly have 2. So if you hit select and you go into your artifacts, you'll see that now you have the Boston Q.Z. map and the military pamphlet, and those kind of automatically happen when you picked up your gear. I'm assuming that they were inside of your book bag when you picked them up is how you got them, but it kind of confused me, so I want to kind of point it out to you. So that's the first two. Let's get ahead on to the next one. Alright, so the next artifact is after you're leaving the area where all the spores are. You just had your first big encounter with the 3 infected. Just come up these stairs, and there's going to be, obviously that's the way you're supposed to go to continue with the story. But if you come to the left right here, this door is going to be closed. Go ahead and open it up, and then when you come over here on this table, it's going to be your artifact, and it's going to be note to brother. Alright, so you're eventually going to get to this little ragtag community right here. It's going to be a bus that you pass through, and then you're going to end up coming this way, and the game wants you to follow Tess and go underneath this canopy right here. What you want to do is just head straight across. You can also see right there the CG Folly lumber, I guess, CG Folly lumber, and over here is going to be a wanted poster. You just want to go and pick this up. Alright, and then from here what you want to do is just do a 180, come right back this way, and there'll be another artifact right here on the ground. It's called drafting notice. Alright, so the next artifact is a little bit elusive. You're going to be here at Spencer's computer supplier. You're going to have some enemies here that you're going to need to kill, and just make sure that you focus on trying to find the one that drops the key. So this guy right here dropped the key for me, and let me go ahead and show you here in my statistics that I have, and you should have this too if you've been following the guide. 5 artifacts, and then when you pick up this key, it's actually going to give you credit for another one. Even though it's a key and it's something that you need in the game, it still does count as an artifact. Let me show you that right quick. And you can see now that we have 6 artifacts. So just wanted to point that out to you. There are some more throughout the game that you pick up that's actually part of the story that might confuse you on your counts, because it just seems a little bit natural when you pick them up. So just keep that in mind as you follow the guide. Okay, so you can find your next artifact right here at Mission Hill. This is the sequence where you're trying to still track down Robert. There's like a little cutscene right here. There's going to be a lot of enemies that you need to take out. But when you come over this way and you look right here, you can find your next artifact. It's called the Shipping Manifest. And then from here what you can do is actually just go this way and look down here on the ground, and you can get your next artifact. And that one's called Doc's Note. Alright, so now we're in the chapter called the Outskirts, and all you have to do to get the first artifact in this particular chapter is as soon as you're able to move your character, you're going to be in this room. Now Ellie and Tess have already walked through that crack in the wall over there. This is right after you take the nap. You have that cutscene with Ellie. You just want to do a 180, and obviously there's the couch where you took the nap. You just want to come right over here to this end table, and that's going to be your next artifact. It's called Tess's List. Alright, and then from here what you want to do is just go ahead and follow out Tess and Ellie. Just come through this little crack in the wall here. Go ahead and crank up this generator and then head down this elevator. Alright, so as soon as you get to the bottom of the elevator, there's going to be a crack in the wall over here. Just look to the right, and over here on the floor, it's going to be your next artifact. And it's called Patrol Routes Map. Alright, so this next one is going to be after you come through the sewer area, which is back down this way. You're going to climb up this broken bridge. You're going to be outside again. There's going to be like a short little cutscene where they're talking about heading to the Capitol. And then what you want to do is just run this way and look right in front of this pole. And on the ground right here is going to be your next artifact. It's going to be the evacuation leaflet. Okay, so you're eventually going to get to a section where they start talking about the downtown area. There's like a little cutscene. You're still heading toward the Capitol, but you have to pass through this building right here. So we're just going to come through this way. I'll show you where your next artifact is here. It's going to be a dead body on the ground right here. Go through again. Then there's going to be some stairs on your right. Come through here. It's going to be right here on the ground. It's going to be called the field ops log. Okay, so after passing through the Goldston building, you're going to be down here in the sewers. There's going to be a short little dialogue right here where she identifies this dead body right here as a firefly. You pick up a Molotov for the first time. You just want to head through this way, up these center steps, and over here on this dead body you can get your next artifact. And this one's going to be called the Firefly map. Okay, so the next area that you're going to be in is the ticket booth area for the subway, and there's going to be like 5 or 6 clickers in here as well as a couple of enemies. What you want to do is just come over here, take a left, and we're coming into the minute pickup store. We're going to come over here, wrap around, and open up this this drawer right here, and that's going to be your next artifact. And that one's going to be called Note to Derik. And if you press select, you'll be able to see that there's a combination on it. We're about to use that combination. I'm going to show you where the safe is right quick. Okay, we're just going to head over this way. I just want to show you how this works. This happens a couple of times in the game, I'm sure, where you're going to have to get like different safe combinations. Just going to come all the way over here to the other side. We're going to come into this other room. You can probably see the safe right there. And you can go ahead and open that now using that combination. You see what I mean? So just keep that in mind as you're getting your artifacts, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so after you leave the subway, there's going to be this section where you got to push this cart from this building right here over here to this truck. And what you can do is now you can hop over, get on the other side, but instead of going straight, which is where the game wants you to go, just kind of look back and go inside of the bed of the truck here, and your next artifact is going to be right here for you. It's called medical pamphlet. Okay, so after a cutscene, you're going to be right here. You're going to be able to see the Capitol building way over there. You're going to end up coming down these 2 flights of stairs right here. I'll show you where your next artifact is. Again, hop off here if you want to. There's a dead body back here, and it's going to be right down here on the ground. And this one's going to be called Firefly Orders. Okay, so after you leave the Capitol building, you're going to be running away from the security agents, the Hummer with the turret on it. You're going to end up coming down into this underground section of the like tunnel system or subway system, and you're going to get to this area that's flooded out. And there's going to be a puzzle that you have to solve here on the right-hand side of the map using this this ladder right here that you can see right there with the circle. But if you come to the left where Ellie is, and you hop up here, there's going to be like a dead body, and if you look right here, it's going to be your next artifact. It's going to be called Smuggler Note. Okay, so now we're in the chapter called Bill's Town. This is right after you come through the forest. You're going to be in this area right here. There's going to be a couple of clickers that you need to kill, but if you come up these steps and open up this door and head to the left and come to the back of this little room, you're going to get your next artifact right here, and it's going to be called Pill's Note. Alright, so you're eventually going to get to Main Street, and you're going to be right here in the center of town. I'm actually pointing right now at where you would have came in from. You want to just head all the way down here to the end. There's going to be like this RV right here, and to the left is going to be the Marquee Music Store. So I'm going to come through here and go into this back room area, look to the left, and back over here is going to be your next artifact, and it's called the Perimeter Note. Alright, and then from here what you want to do is just head out of the music store and come back here to the back part of this little like Main Street area where this barricade is. You can probably see it from here. There's like a note stuck in the barbed wire. Let's go ahead and pick that up. It's going to be called Note to Bob. Okay, so while you're on your way to find Bob, you're going to go through this rooftop section. You're going to come down this ladder, and the game kind of wants you to go this way through this booby trap area right here. But if you head back, there's going to be like a pounding on this door right here. Go ahead and open up this door and head up these stairs. Let me again turn my light on here so you can see, and then just come to the left. There's going to be a bedroom there, and make a left, come over here and look on this table. It's going to say Rachel, and that's going to be your next artifact. It's going to be Note to Rachel. Okay, so after the cutscene with Bob and you end up being in this little bar right here, this first little safe house, you just come over here and look on this table. You can pick up this map, and that's going to be called Bill's Map. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. Okay, and then from here what you want to do is just kind of come over here to this back room right here, look on this table, and that's going to be your next one. That one's called Fence's Note. Okay, so after you follow Bill outside of that first little bar area right there, just head up these steps. Just come around this way. And back here on this table is going to be your next artifact, and it's called Hunter's Note. Alright, so eventually you're going to be following Bill through this church, and what you want to do is just come up here and hang a right. Show you where this next artifact is. Come up here and hang a right, and you're going to be inside this bedroom, and it's going to be right over here on this table. And this one's going to be called Bomb's Note. Okay, so on your way to the high school, you're going to pass through this tree house. There's going to be a pool right here in the backyard of this this house right here. Go ahead and head inside, and then come over here upstairs. And there's going to be a room right there, and then a room right here. Go ahead and take the room on the right and curve around, and it's going to be right here by this window. And this one's going to be called Boy's Diary. Okay, so after you leave the high school, you're going to end up being in this garage, and Bill is going to be basically telling you to search the house for supplies. You can come back this way.
I'll give you a holler.
And you can find another artifact right here. It's going to be called Note from Frank. If you hit start and go into, hold on a second. If you hit start and go into your bonuses, and you go into your collectibles, you can see that now we have 27 artifacts. This one gets a little bit tricky, so you have 27 artifacts if you've been following this guide. From here you want to just go back and see Bill, and now he's going to have a conversation icon over his head.
Ready?
You just want to go ahead and talk to him. Now what he's going to do is throw the note down on the ground. Now you can still see that in my bonuses I still have 27, right? Even though the note is not in my inventory right now, it's like on the floor. But if you pick it up again, you can see that now I have Note from Frank. Then if I hit start and go into my bonuses, into my statistics, now I have 28. So the Note from Frank actually counts twice towards your artifacts. I just wanted to kind of show that to you. So that one's a little bit tricky. And then if you go into your backpack and you go to artifacts, you would think that you would see Note from Frank up here twice, because technically it counted twice, but you're only going to see it one time right there, Note from Frank. So it's a little bit tricky, this one is. So just remember, pick up the note, talk to Bill. When he crumples it and throws it on the ground, make sure you pick it up a second time, and you'll actually get credit for 2 artifacts. I just wanted to kind of clarify that for you guys. Let's move on to the next one.
Here.
What's this?
You'd be amazed at how many cars still got gas in them.
Alright, and that's going to be number 29 in terms of your artifacts. When he hands you that siphon hose right there, that's going to actually be number 29. I'm going to show you that as soon as this cutscene is over with. Alright, so just to show you that counted, if you go into your artifacts and you scroll all the way down, you're going to see that you got credit for the siphon hose right there. And that takes care of that particular chapter. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so now we're in the chapter called Pittsburgh, and this is after you wreck your truck, after that cutscene with Bill. You basically part ways with him. You're going to end up coming through this gate area that Ellie ends up helping you open, and you're going to be inside of this little garage. And what you want to do is come over here, and that's going to be your next artifact. It's going to be called Tourist Manifest. Okay, and from here what you want to do is just head this way. Come upstairs. This one's a little bit easy to miss right here. If you just follow the story, you just want to come across the hall. Instead of going that way, just come through here, wrap around, and it's going to be right here for you. And this one's going to be called the Ambush Map. Okay, so right before you enter this quarantine zone right here, this is after you you drop down on this bus right here. You have the encounter with those three guys or whatever. Just head this way, hop over this, and it's going to be right here for you. And this one's going to be called the Lost Hill Note. Okay, so after you've passed through the turnstile, you're going to be heading through this like camp area right here. Just come over through this way, and then just do like a 180 and just look back. You're going to see this poster right here. Go ahead and pick that up. It's going to be called Traitors Flyer. Alright, and then from here what you want to do is just go ahead and head inside of the bookstore right where it says 245. Just go ahead and head on in here and make a right. There'll be some stairs, but you just want to come to the left of the stairs and go ahead and pick up the next artifact. It's going to be applicant checklist. Alright, now from here what you want to do is just go ahead and come up these stairs right here. Show you where this next one is. Now this one's going to require you to have a shiv. It's one of these doors that you have to unlock with the shiv, so just make sure you either have a shiv or that you have the materials in order to make a shiv. There's plenty of materials around here. Now obviously this is going to be locked in your game. Go ahead and unlock it, and then just come back here and on this shelf it's going to be your next artifact. And this one's going to be called Lost Areas Map. Okay, and then from here what we want to do is go ahead and head back downstairs. But now we're going to be on the other side of this this bookstore. And you're going to head inside of this office over here. Look to your right, and it's going to be right here on this desk. And this one's going to be called Abandoned Zone Note. Okay, so eventually you're going to make it right here. There's going to be like a dialogue sequence. You're going to see 3 guys entering this hotel right here, which is where we're trying to get to. Obviously there's the bridge in the background. You're going to end the cutscene right here by this taxi cab. This one's really easy to miss, but you just want to make a left and come back this way. And if you look on this chair, you'll see your next artifact. And this one's going to be called Mother's Letter. Okay, so you can see where we were right there where that purple canopy is. Just giving you a frame of reference. There's the hotel, and directly in front of the hotel is going to be the Rivers Cafe. And what you can do is you can come this way. It's a bit of a swim right here, but I did want to show you all of this. You come through here like this, and just keep going straight. You see that staircase in the distance? That's where we're trying to get to. And then you'll find that the next artifact is just right above our heads here on the 2nd floor of the Rivers Cafe. Just come this way. We're going to head all the way around. And it's going to be right here. And this one's going to be called the Stash Note. Alright, so now you just want to head over to the hotel. I've obviously already jumped in the window here. You can actually come around this way. Now in your game there's probably going to be a ladder right here. Again, and pick up this ladder and just put it right over here on this wall. Go ahead and climb this ladder. Show you where your next artifact is. This one's really easy to miss. Come this way, and it doesn't really look like you could even come down here, but you can. And then just kind of scurry up this little wall right here. And then now, when you come over here to this suitcase, it's going to be right here inside. And this one's going to be called Note to Staff. Okay, so eventually you're going to get separated from Ellie. There's going to be like an elevator sequence that goes wrong. You're going to end up following the natural path. You're going to eventually get to this area where there's going to be some spores. You have to put your mask on. There's also going to be some rats that come funneling through. You'll notice that in the storyline. There'll be some rats that start running at you, like running towards you or whatever. And you're going to be in this hallway. And what you want to do is just take the first door on the right and just head through this way. You're also going to see an iconic generator, which you're going to need a bit later in the storyline. You're going to see that generator. Just head up this ramp right here. Curve around and come back. And just head across the hallway. And pick up this security key card. I'll show you that right quick. And it's going to be called the hotel key card. And that actually adds it to your inventory. Even though that is part of the story, it actually adds it to your artifact as well. It's just like the warehouse key that we got earlier. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so you're eventually going to end up in this section right here. There's going to be like a cutscene with you and Ellie where you teach her how to snipe, and she's going to be taking out these guys with you. Basically, it's going to be a scene where there's a bunch of guys looking at this hanging body over here. You're going to know it when you get there. It's all part of the natural progression of the storyline. But you want to end up going this way right here, and there's going to be a store on the right-hand side of the map. There's the Rivers Cafe, and then there's also the Don Fiocchi. You want to go in here and just go past the cash register here and go into this back area, this back I guess it's like a refrigerator, and you want to find your next artifact on the ground. And this one's going to be called the Fireflies Note. Okay, so you're eventually going to get to this section of the game. There's going to be like a sequence where these 2 guys get shot in the street, like a Hummer pulls out. Across the way there is a sign that says Miriam State. So that's all part of the natural progression of the story. Then you just want to come through this way. Take this door right here. Again, head upstairs. You're going to see a door on the left right here. Go ahead and take that. And there's going to be some guys in here 2 guys to be precise. You can take these dudes out, and you can actually come over here to this office. There's going to be like a window right there. If you look behind this desk, it's going to be on the ground, and this one's actually called Final Attack Note. Alright, so eventually you're going to climb over this wall right here using this truck. You're going to be on the other side. There's going to be some stores over here, pawn and jewelry. You're going to see Vega Computer. You're going to be in this area. There's going to be some a lot of enemies here that you'll need to take out. There's a bookstore right there as a frame of reference. What you want to do is actually head through this way where it says Delta Direct. That's kind of where we're going. So head up these stairs right here. Show you where this next artifact is. Let's come up these stairs and then make a left. There's going to be a reception like desk right here, and it's going to be right here on the ground. And this one's going to be called the Mob Attack Note. Okay, so after you pick up the artifact that's up there in the Delta Direct office, just go ahead and hop down. Just come this way. You're going to see that No Hope way on the back wall back there. That's a good frame of reference. On the left is going to be Bradley and Partners, and on the right is going to be the HS and L Credit Union. Just walk in here, and it's going to be over here on this little desk for you. This one's going to be called Truck Note. Alright, so you're eventually going to make it to this section of the game. There's going to be a lot of enemies that you have to kill as you leave the Choo Choo Toys, which is actually beneath me right now, and kind of back that way. You're going to end up coming up to this area using that blue car right there and that truck. You're going to end up coming this way and then passing across this plank, and then they're going to open up this door for you, and you're going to head all the way back to the back of this. This is actually called Spitzner Architecture. You're going to come back here to this office, and it's going to be right here on the ground. And this one's going to be called the Trial Note. Okay, so now we're in a chapter of the game called the Suburbs, and this is after you get chased by the Hummer, and you actually meet back up with your teammates right there. And Ellie actually says something about this boat. Now the game is wanting you to go up this way through that sewer tunnel. You just want to head up here on this boat, and you just want to go into the cabin. And inside this cabin is going to be your next artifact. This one's going to be called the Boat Note. Alright, so after you leave the boat, you're going to end up coming through the sewer system. There's going to be a way that you can go left or right. Ellie's actually going to tell you that maybe you should search out to the right. So you're just going to come down this way. Now I've already solved this little puzzle right here, but there's going to be a locked door right here, and then there's going to be like a grate over here that you can move. So go ahead and move that and let Ellie go through. She'll open up this door for you, and then now you can head through this way and get your next artifact, which is going to be right here on this this little table. And this one's going to be called the Sewers Note. Okay, so as you're making your way through the sewers, there's going to be an area that's flooded with water. You're going to have to separate from your teammates in order to knock over this plank right here into the water. So before you do that, there's actually a door over this way. Go ahead and open that, kill the 2 infected, and then if you wrap up around this upper section, right here on the ground is going to be your next artifact, and this one's actually called Trading Note. Alright, so eventually you're going to pass through this gate right here. This is all part of the natural progression of the storyline. You're going to come down into this like water area right here. There's going to be a lot of infected that come down those steps back there. Just take all those dudes out, then head this way up these stairs. And there's like a washroom right here, or like a cleaning room, if you will. And if you come over here, it's going to be your next artifact, and that's going to be the Raincatcher Note. Okay, so from here what you want to do is let's go ahead and get our next artifact. Let's go ahead and run back. We're just going to progress naturally through this little sewer system right here. And this one's kind of easy to miss because you just want to keep going straight right here. But if you look left, there's going to be a door. Now it may be closed in your game. Go ahead and open it, and then come over here to this little dead body, and on this table right here is going to be your next artifact, and this one's going to be called Corner Note. Alright, so you're eventually going to get separated from your teammates again, and you're going to be left in this room with a bunch of infected. Go ahead and take all these infected out and just make your way across this room. We're actually heading up here to this it's like a classroom, I guess. Gonna come up here and take a left, and right here on this bookshelf is gonna be your next artifact, and this one's gonna be called the Kid's Drawing. Alright, so eventually you're gonna make it outside again, and you actually come from this way up here, and there's gonna be a ton of houses out here. It's gonna be called the Waverly Township, and you just want to come this way, and there's going to be one house right here. You're going to the second house, this one right here. It's kind of a brown colored house. You're going to head up here, and back here on this this table, this end table, is going to be your next artifact. This one's actually called looting note. Okay, so this is the house that we were just in right here. This is just the back side of it. The street basically just wraps around the area right here. You're going to see this ice cream truck and then some dogs down there. You just want to look to the left and come inside of this middle house. And we want to head upstairs to get our next artifact. Okay. Just make a left right here and wrap around. It's going to be right over here on this chest of drawer. And this one's actually going to be called Father's Note. Okay, so now you just want to exit the house that you were just in, and you want to keep going. Now remember, this is where the dogs were, and this is the ice cream truck as your frame of reference. So you just basically just came right back out the same way you came in, and now you just want to head into this third house and head upstairs. Go right into this bedroom right here, and then on the right on this desk is going to be your next artifact, and this one's called the Survivor's Note. Alright, so from here what you want to do is just head on back out the door. Don't go downstairs, go to the left. There's actually going to be a safe right over here up against this wall. It's locked at this point, but if you head up this flight of stairs and into this next room, right here is going to be your next artifact, which is called the matchbook. And if you look at the matchbook, you'll be able to see that there's a combination on it, and that actually unlocks that safe. Alright, so now we're in a chapter of the game called Tommy's Dam, and you're gonna start this particular chapter way off in the distance over there. You're gonna end up coming to this hydroelectric plant. You're gonna end up crossing it and then coming through this way. Now the game is gonna want you to come up through here, pass underneath this log, and then make a right and kind of trigger a cutscene and continue with the story. What you want to do is go straight across. You can probably see it from here. It's a map on the wall. You want to come into this little guardhouse or shack, if you will. It's called Power Plant Map. Alright, so eventually there's going to be a dialogue sequence where they finally restore power to the dam. You're going to go back over to this room right here and have a talk with Tommy. It's going to be like a cutscene. Then there's going to be a fighting sequence that takes place right here. You're going to be making your way, basically just backtracking the same way that you came in. And this time you're going to be able to pick up your next artifact right here. And this one's actually called the plant schematics. Alright, so now we're going to be in the chapter called the University, and you can see there we got the sign that's kind of iconic. Right across from the sign is going to be like a car shop, or like a garage, if you will. And we're just going to head up through here and get our next artifact. Going to come to the right and head up these stairs. Now you don't want to stop on the you don't want to stop here. You want to go on up one more flight of stairs. And then this door is probably going to be shut. Go ahead and open it and then come out here and you can get your next artifact, which is right there.
There was a lookout
and that one's called Sniper's Nest Log. Alright, so just keep following the natural progression of the story. You're eventually going to end up here where Ellie's going to be put on the other side of this cage, and you're going to be kind of out here, and there's going to be some clickers and runners upstairs that you need to take out. What you can do is go ahead and head over here to this circuit breaker, and to the left of this circuit breaker is going to be your next artifact. And this one's called Wall Panel Note. Okay, so you're eventually going to hop over this barricade right here, and you're going to be kind of in this big courtyard, this big open area. You just want to head all the way across to the other side, kind of in this back left-hand corner. And then I'll show you where you can get your next artifact. There's also going to be like a little dialogue sequence here between you and Ellie, referencing some monkeys, so you'll know that you're in the right spot. Just come through here, and come down these stairs, and you're looking for this little opening over here.
Hey, look. Fireflies.
Okay, let's get and hop off. You should see a sign that says dormitory.
I'll be right back.
Which is right here. Go ahead and crawl underneath.
2.
And then your next artifact is going to be right here. And this one's actually called UEC Campus Map. Alright, and then from here what you want to do is go ahead and head up these stairs. And you're just trying to make it to floor number 2. And you'll see it right there, floor 2. And then you're just looking on the left hand side until you see room 202, which is right here. Should be the second door on the left. Wrap around. Now this is probably going to be closed for you. Go ahead and hit triangle to open it and then get your next artifact. And this one's going to be called Student's Journal. Okay, so you're eventually going to get to a section of the game where you have to use your mask again because there's spores You're going to drop down into this like hole or whatever. There's going to be a bunch of clickers and a bloater that you have to kill. Go ahead and kill the bloater, and then you know where the bloater was standing, just go past him and you'll see a door that you have to go through, which is this door right here. You'll have to keep hitting your square button to be able to get through. You'll barricade yourself in, then you just want to come up these steps. You'll be on floor 2. You can go left or right. You want to make a right, and then look for room 209, which should be the first room on your right. And then just look on this little mini fridge, and that's going to be your next artifact, and that one's called newspaper clipping. Alright, so eventually you're going to make it to floor number 3. Again, we're just following the natural progression of the storyline. You're going to be coming up these steps right here. You're going to see floor number 3 right there by the elevators. Just want to come through this way. It's going to be a door over here. It's going to be shut in your game if you haven't played through yet. Go ahead and open this up, and then you just want to make a left, keep going, and then you just want to make another left and head for this door. The room number, just for frame of reference, is going to be 101 right there, room 101. It's going to be room 101 storage, and it's going to be right here is going to be your next artifact, and this is called the office recorder. Okay, so from this location you just want to do a 180, and you're basically just going to be following the natural progression of the story again. I've already went through here, but in your game you may see Ellie up here, and then you'll see like this, it's kind of like a tunnel right here. Just want to, with some tarp or whatever around it, yellow tarp, just head through and then make a left, and on this back table back here it's going to be your next artifact, and this one's going to be fungal x-rays. Alright, from this location you just want to do a 180 and then head back this way, open up this door, and then there's probably going to be a little cutscene here with the monkeys if you haven't been through here yet, little dialogue sequence, and then right here is going to be your next artifact, and that's going to be called the lab recorder. Alright, and then from this location you just want to come on through this door right here and head over to this office. It's going to be called it's room 103. And before we go in here, just let me show you kind of where we stand. If you've been following this guide, you should have a total of 65 artifacts right now. And what you're going to see is when we come through here, there's going to be a little cutscene, and you're going to get a recorder naturally as part of the cutscene. It's one of those weird ones, and then we're going to get credit for it after the fact. So I'll show you this, him picking it up here. I won't give away too much of the story. See that recorder right there? And then I'll go ahead and skip that, and then I'll show you where it's in our inventory now. So if you go into your statistics, you'll see that now we have 66. So that's going to automatically go into effect. So I just wanted to kind of show that to you. Let's move on. Alright, so now we're going to be in a chapter called Lakeside Resort, and if you go ahead and hit start, I just want to show you something. This one confused me like crazy, so I know it's probably confusing some of you guys too. So artifacts found, you should have 66 artifacts right now if you've been following this particular guide. Now what you're noticing here is that now we're playing with Ellie, and she has a backpack. So the way that you get up to 75 artifacts pretty quick is you can jump from 66 to 75 just by going into her backpack and looking at her artifacts. She already has some listed, no pun intended. I'll go ahead and show you what they are. No pun intended. No pun intended, volume 2. To get it to the other side, Riley's pendant, Sam's robot, Walkman, Note from Mom, Switchblade, and Joel and Sarah photo. And if you count all those up starting from 66, then the no pun intended will be 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, and 75. So from my knowledge, you do have to view these in order to get credit for them. So just make sure that you view them just like this, cycle through them. Now just keep in mind that when you're cycling through, to make sure that when she's talking, her dialogue, make sure that you allow her to say everything that she needs to say while she's looking at an item. Also make sure to flip the item, look at both sides, because sometimes it won't register if you don't allow her to do that. So just make sure you cycle through all of them, and then when you come back into your bonus menu here and you scroll down, you'll see that we went from 66 to now 75, and we didn't really have to go around and collect anything. We just had to look at the contents of her book bag. So just keep all that in mind, and we'll move on. Alright, so you're going to be able to get to your next artifact just by watching the cutscene with the interrogation scene between Joel and the two enemies. You're going to see that here on your screen in just a second. This map that he shows right here, that map is going to be in your bag as soon as you're done with this cutscene. So let's go ahead and skip this cutscene. I don't want to give too much of the storyline away. And now when you come back to that a little bit later on, it's going to be on your inventory. So now when you hit start and you go into your bonuses, you'll see that now you have 76, and that 76 one would have been the Lake Resort map. Alright, so the next artifact is a little bit tricky as well. I'm just showing you here that we have 76 artifacts, and you're eventually going to, per the storyline, you're going to be obviously looking for Ellie, and you're going to eventually find her backpack. It's going to automatically happen as soon as you come through a door, and you're going to find out that now you have Ellie's backpack. And now when you go into your bonuses again, and you go into your statistics, you'll see that now you have 77. Alright, and as soon as you finish picking up Ellie's backpack, just turn right and look on this little shelf, and that's going to be your next artifact. And that one's going to be called Meat Ledger. Alright, so this chapter is called the Bus Depot, and this is actually the start of the chapter right here. You just want to head down through here, and there's going to be this RV on your left. The door is going to be open. You just want to head inside and pick up your next artifact. It's going to be right here on this table. It's going to be the family photograph. Alright, so as soon as you climb over the gate, you're going to be in this section right here. There's going to be like a bus station in front of you. It's called Logan James Bus Station. Just head on inside and hug the left wall right here. And over here on this luggage, or in this luggage, it's going to be your next artifact. And this one's going to be called Note to Wife. Alright, so eventually you're going to end up right here. There's going to be some dialogue between Ellie and Joel where he talks about his past a little bit. I don't want to give too much of the storyline away, but just look for a bunch of tents. You can't miss it. It's going to be a part of the natural storyline. And you're just going to come back here to this tent in the back, and this is going to be your next artifact. It's back here on this table. Just come through here, and it's going to be right here. And this one's actually called the Salt Lake Q.Z map. Okay, so you're eventually going to find your way into the hospital. There's going to be a cutscene. You're going to kind of automatically be in the hospital. I don't want to give too much of the storyline away, but as you're progressing through the hospital, you're going to go to the west wing, and then you're going to end up being inside of this stairwell. You just want to go ahead and head up to the top, and it's floor number 6. It's the only floor you can get on, but just as a frame of reference, go ahead and open up this door, and then straight ahead is going to be your next artifact. That's going to be the surgeon's recorder. Alright, and then from here what you want to do is just turn around and come back to this open door right here. Look on your right, and it's going to be right here by this computer. And that one's called Marlene's recorder number 1. Alright, and then from here what you want to do is just come out of this door, head down here, make a left, and you're going to see like a kind of a yellow tent area on the right hand side. This is kind of where you want to be at. Go all the way to the back, and on this table on the left is going to be your next artifact. And this one's called Marlene's journal. Alright, so you're eventually going to get to this section of the game now. I just went through a hallway full of enemies, so that's kind of what you're hearing on the other side. I bypassed all of them. You're going to get to this spot where you're going to push this tub right here over and kind of barricade them out, and then you're going to be faced with a scenario that looks kind of like this. You just want to come to the right. There's going to be a room called room 608. Just head in here, and you're going to see your last artifact here. Now let's go ahead and check our statistics right quick. If you've been following this guide, you should now have 84, and this would be your 85th, which should be your last one. And this one's actually called Marlene's recorder 2, and we'll just wait for the unlock to pop. And there it is. It was all just lying there. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this particular video, and I will see you all in the next one. You guys be good.